welcome to Off the Handle, where we talk to some of the most interesting people that we follow on Instagram and get to know just who they really are on and off the handle. Coming to you from Gadigal Land, I am Rudy Jean Rigg, and today on the couch we have the only person that I would still pay 55 cents to vote for. It is Jess Mauboy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes, 55 cents.
I know.
Back in the day.
I'd
Back
pay
in
60.
the day.
Hang on. Hold up. You can't just sit on my couch and start ripping out one like that.
Well, Rudy, you took me back. Like, you literally took me back to...
Can you
Yeah,
still
obviously
feel like
visually.
the stage underneath your feet? Like,
Yeah, I mean, I just remember being put in certain clothes that I'd never worn before, and I just had a vision of like every week felt like a boot camp because I just had to learn a new song every week, and then lights, camera, action, and then the cameras were on, and plus just thinking back how young I was, having never had experienced at that level of music and TV before. Being 16, I think it was super overwhelming, but also it was like it was exciting because I was out of my hometown, and I was surrounded by just amazing other people and other amazing talent, and just how big it actually was. And the whole idea of like millions of people are watching, and they're gonna vote.
yeah.
Like they have the opportunity to vote from their phone.
Yeah.
And I might just win. I don't know, or I might be sent home tomorrow.
It's a wild ride.
Yeah, being a 16-year-old and then having kind of almost curated judgment placed on you, whether it was real or whether it was not. Taking that away, I think it was a lot to think about. It's extremely scary, but I think having grown up the way that I did in my household with 5 girls that were just super strong and also quite already mean to each other but loved each other so much, it was just like I know this feeling, and it's like it's actually making me feel really solid on this stage and feeling like, I am kind of prepared, because I'd done multiple auditions before actually doing Idol, and so I think I'm going to be okay. I think that flip of now that instant kind of filter online. I mean that happens daily. You don't know what someone's going to like or dislike, and having the choice to either read it or consume it or take it in, you can kind of have that choice.
Yeah.
Is the difference.
Yeah.
I guess.
Yeah. I mean, I totally agree with you. I think, aside from like features like, restricting words, blocking people, in the comments section.
That's so crazy.
Right? Like, how good is it to be able to do that? But for people who are, taking that leap and putting themselves out there and they're making content and, they're doing reels, what would you say to people maybe around that age of 16, like, like you're thinking about yourself now? What would you say to them?
I really applaud, these young mob that are just on their screens and like saying it and telling us that story and telling us how they feel. I think it just goes such a long way.
When did you start sharing your voice in that way?
Ooh, I think when I discovered social media and being online, which was Instagram. I think my first photo, if I go back, my first experience was expressing my body, and I'd never done that before, but I'd seen that kind of happen, and I think kind of getting sucked in that for the first time, I was like, oh, I'm in my 20s, or I'm coming into my 20s. And this is the first time of actually seeing myself and actually acknowledging what I have and the power of it. And also because I'd known the power of my voice. I'd seen it. I'd experienced, auditioning, going through the auditioning process as a young kid, and then through my teenage years, being on Idol. I was 16 years old when I was on that show.
Young.
And so
young.
I didn't quite connect the dot even then. Like, I knew I had this power and ability vocally, but I couldn't see myself. I was just almost kind of just like a walking vessel that I
I mean,
hadn't
you're
yet
using your
understood.
voice.
Yeah. I knew who I was and where I come from, but that didn't really matter. It wasn't something that I thought about my appearance and that could possibly affect how people felt. But my voice, I was determined, and that was my goal. I wanted people to hear and feel, and although I was singing covers, I could possibly interpret in my way, in the way that I feel about it. And yeah, I think that's where I knew this is going to be a long road. This is going to be a long haul, and I'm in for it. And I want to be here for the marathon. So whatever that entails, whatever comes my way, I'm going to try and use it and take that with me and learn from it. And I think that's where that crossover of being online and physically showing that came to life, in my 20s, in my early 20s. That changed everything, really.
Well,
it did change the way that I felt about myself, how I wanted to show myself, and particularly for my community. Like this, young Black girl from a small town, who's from a really big community, particularly for First Nations mob, and I wanted to be that. For them. I wanted to be that identity that could be placed in a space of music industry and the commercial world. And I wanted to show young mob that you could still remain who you are and also be in this space. You can do it.
Yeah, you can.
And it still blows my mind though, like how effective that is. For someone, you don't know who's watching.
You have no idea.
But how affecting that can be. And so I'm a type of artist or creator that I know what I want. I know what feels right to me, but I'm also very very particular about how I use my words. And I know that there's a lot of young people watching me. I go out and I do a lot of shows and, there's like from 5-year-olds to, 80-year-olds. And I don't, I know that's come from, a very generational thing. I've, been around for more than 18 years now in the music industry. And when I think about it, I've really kind of just not only just stayed in music, but taking a journey into film, with Brand New Day and the Sapphires and Secret Daughter, and that kind of opened up a whole nother audience of like young mob, and then doing something like The Voice and becoming a coach for all kinds of people who want to experience music and learn how to perform or learn how to hold a microphone and be able to sing down to people who are watching at home. Like there's all this kind of experience that I've kind of gathered and still have in mind wanting to, be aware of who's watching and hopefully they can take away something. I think that's always been my goal when social media came into play, was that I respect everyone. I'm aware that all kinds of people are different, and I never ever want to say the wrong thing, or I never want to push people. That's just the kind of person that I am, and I love the way that it transcends. I love the way that someone's getting, a good day out of it, or just a little glimpse of hope from it. And it's. Yeah, that to me is everything.
Yeah. Jess, as it stands, the show doesn't have a jingle. And I just thought you would be the perfect person to bring that to life.
Me?
Yes.
No.
Yes. I mean, listen, you sing like every 10 sentence anyway.
I'm so honoured right now. I'm like freaking out.
Yeah.
It's got to be good.
And you have the voice that just, it's like it just gets stuck in your head as well. Like it's very like neural. Like it just is in there.
Thank you. Wow.
So I'm wondering, like, can we spend some time workshopping the jingle?
Hey, I mean, I've got melodies floating.
Okay.
So off the handle.
Yes. I'm thinking like a dissonant.
Off the handle. I don't know.
Okay.
Off handle. I don't know.
Okay. I
Something.
like that.
Off the handle.
Yeah. Now that's a sting. That
Yeah?
stings. That cuts.
Yeah.
That cuts like a fine knife.
Yeah, you like that? Oh, off the handle.
Yes, that's sass. That's sass.
Maybe.
Hang on, let me throw this to you. What about if it was you're in a big choir,
Yeah.
right? And the
Ooh.
choir's gone quiet. For some reason, everyone else, they can't sing anymore, and you're left to carry the show. It's like Christina Aguilera in Burlesque. Okay, you know that scene? You know when
Yes,
she's
I
on stage.
do.
Okay, listen, good. Okay, so we're there. We're on that stage. We need to carry the whole orchestra's down. What do you do, Jess? Give it to me.
Off the handle or something. You know what I mean?
Yes.
Because it's like theatrical and burlesque and
Yes.
sexy, but it's like, you know what I mean? It's like,
Yes.
but like halo.
I love that. I love that it like kind of flies into space and then it like drops like it just drops down to earth and it's like a meteorite. Yeah, that's a good one.
Well, yeah, you explained that right for me to be able to,
Yes. Get into the
execute
point.
that the way that it need to be.
I
you
love
know?
that. We have plenty to choose from there, but like
Is that too many?
I don't think
Are we in
so.
the-
I think like I kind of want to throw my hat in the ring, but I don't have a tuned ear, so
No,
I don't want to.
You do. Rudy, I heard you
Maybe.
just sing.
Listen,
You're in tune. You got vibrato.
I try, but I'm
mean,
not about to.
You
put
got
my voice online.
ideas.
I'm the ideas
creative.
person. I'm not the output. You know, that's on you, Jess Mauboy. I'm trying to I want to like play in the space, but like I'm scared. This is very vulnerable.
Off
The handle. Yeah, that was a bit flat. But
no, that's off the.
handle.
Oh!
Yeah. Okay. I don't have enough air in my
No,
diaphragm.
this is good because
Yeah.
you know you can build on that. You know what
Yeah.
I mean? So there's layers that could
Yeah.
be happening. There could be like sound effects that could be happening. So this is just the start.
It is.
Rudy.
Yeah. Now, Jess, we ask every single one of our guests to bring along a special item, and you are no different, I'm afraid. So, what have you brought in
Yes.
for us?
I did. I brought something.
You put it under the. Sorry, hang on. I was just like zoned, to be real with you. I was zoned out for a second, and then you started pulling something from under the couch. We had previously been speaking about horror
Yes.
things.
Yes.
And then you start to pull something from the couch.
You're
and
like,
I'm thinking,
what are you doing?
Great.
What are you doing, girl?
Yeah, I know, girl. Stop. Okay, hang on.
So
Back in the zone. What have you brought?
So I've brought this item with me. It is a photo of my whole family.
You didn't. Jess, stop. You're going to make me cry.
And this is really sentimental to me because every year, this was back in 2022. This is the one that I could find. I was
Yeah.
it's like, where's all the other photos? But my family have the responsibility of getting themselves all ready to get together at a shopping centre to make this Santa Christmas photo happen.
So you
as a family.
go to a.
So we go to Casuarina Shopping Centre in Darwin every year and wait for everyone to turn up. We call each other up. This is where we're meeting. This is what time. Get there or you miss out.
Yeah.
So this is every year that we do this. And I tell you, it is hard to get the Mauboy family together.
Yeah, I can imagine.
When it comes to Christmas, we make it a thing.
Yeah.
It's really important for us. And so that's us, my parents, my siblings and their partners, my nieces and my nephews.
Ah.
And it's just something that, I think being away from home a lot, being out on the road, this is something that, just kind of keeps me sane and keeps me grounded and keeps me just thinking about how big my family is.
I mean, I'm feeling pretty impressed that you have managed to get everyone in the frame there.
Yeah.
So this was 2022.
Yeah, this is.
Tell me, you just flown in?
Yeah, so I'd flown
Okay.
in a few days.
Yep.
Actually, I didn't fly in. I drove.
You drove,
I
that's
drove.
right.
So 2022, because we had Them and I, my husband, we ended up getting a dog back in 2020, and every year we would do the drive because we had Leo. And Leo's actually not in this photo. We couldn't bring him in the shopping centre,
No.
so we had to leave him at home at the Mauboy house. but yeah, so we drove. It took us 3 days to get to Darwin, and yeah, we pretty much had already booked this. So we pre-booked because I know how crazy my family.
Also, like standing in the line with like, okay, that logistical nightmare.
Really?
With all the kids, and then you're like there, like as a massive group, like.
It's hilarious, like when I rock up to the shopping centre because, like, kind of everyone knows everyone, but it's particularly the young youth that get like really like. That's Jessica Mauboy. That's Jessica Mauboy there. And like you just get all these young youth that are like waiting outside like this little white picket fence that is like, it's like, it's, keeping us secured in like,
in the Santa area. Yeah.
And you just have all of these kids just watching us while we're like trying to take a family photo.
Yeah.
But it's nuts. It's so crazy because it's in the middle of the shopping centre.
Oh, yeah.
And it's like the biggest shopping centre we have in Darwin.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, it's pretty mayhem. And afterwards I'm like there signing things and taking photos. And
yeah,
it's pretty awesome.
Oh, that's so sweet.
My family like, all right, we're all going. I'm the struggler being left behind.
Yeah. Oh, that's amazing.
Yeah. So that's when I think about, when I'm away from home or living in Sydney, away from Darwin and my mob and, having those big barbecues a lot of the times, like that's what it looks like. Everyone's bringing a meal, everyone's, in their best dressed and, just want to be amongst each other and have that company and have that good old gut laugh and I when I look at that I'm like I feel I'm at home.
Thank you so much for sharing that. I really appreciate you bringing that in for us.
Thank you so much.
Yeah,
for allowing me to share it
in a frame. I love that. It's not even like on your phone. It's like, hello, I have a framed image.
I'm that kind of person.
I absolutely love it.
Photos and I love printing photos and putting them in frames.
Oh, it's so good.
Hanging them up.
Oh, it's amazing. Well, thank you so much for sharing that about your family.
Thank you.
On moving from family, I know it's over on the absolute other side of the spectrum, but that's where we go on the show. It's completely off the handle as always. I want to talk about the first celebrity that you ever met, or rather, the first celebrity that reached out to you via the DMs.
Oh,
who slid in? Who was it? Because
damn.
I know you've worked with Snoop Dogg. I know you've worked with Flo Rida.
Ooh.
Who else is there? And I know that you're on Snoop Dogg's close friends, so don't lie to me, Jess. You can't lie on
I
this
think,
show.
when I think of being in the music industry and the people that have really like supported me along the way, Beyonce was a huge one. Back in the beginning of my career.
And she reached out to you?
Yeah, so her father actually reached out and had seen my resume and had seen my profile, and he obviously mentioned it to her and her team. And I just remember her, like every show that I did, she would be up in the stands watching with her mermaid hair. And that was during the Sasha Fierce tour of the world, of the globe. And I just remember like going, oh my God, she's watching. I don't think I can, go on.
Yeah.
But I really learned a lot. I feel like that was like the beginning of learning how to go out and perform and put on shows and building an awesome team that understand you visually and how you want to portray yourself out on the stage and what kind of show you want to put on. So that was something that I learned really quickly and was just amazed about her work ethic and her circle of team that, really put her on a pedestal and made her, who she is.
Yeah. What advice did she give you? Like, or what stood out about her?
I think what stood out about her was how actually quite calm and, really put together. I think having met her, walking into her room, I saw her doing her own makeup. So she actually did her makeup every night. And I asked her, I was like, were you just doing your makeup? And she's like, yeah, I do it every night. I was like, oh my gosh, this girl. But yeah, just it really kind of put into, I guess for me, was like pretty much a highlight of seeing her be so in detail about how she likes, how she likes to kind of run the show, and how kind of quiet and almost silent she is before, the big storm that happens. When she graces that stage.
So did you want to be like, quote unquote, a celebrity, or like, because I know some people are like, no, I didn't want this, but like it's just part of the course. But
yeah, a part of like just the title of that, the word kind of used to freak me out a bit. And a lot of people would introduce themselves, oh no, you're a celebrity or you're famous, and I'm like,
I'm just now
normal. I'm still a Darwin girl, I'm still, NT girl. But yeah, like sometimes I felt the need to have to explain, like what that entails, and what comes with that, and that it, I would stand there and go, I actually don't need to say any of this.
No.
A lot of the time it's just like, it's fun, it's like, it's actually really great. And I'm glad that I still have passion for music. And that's the most important, besides the makeup and the hair and getting ready and like, and that it may look great, but it's more of the, I hope that it comes first. That's the most important.
Yeah.
If I'm present. Yeah.
Well, that's the thing. Like now you can, show don't tell. You've got a platform.
Yeah.
All you need to do is jump on your stories and literally be like,
hey
everyone. Yeah, like that's the thing.
What are you doing today?
Nothing. Doing nothing.
Yeah, true. Yeah, true.
But that's the thing, and that's the raw and the realness. Like that's and that's what we see, and that's what we love. We love people who can show up and go, hey, I love doing my projects. I love making music. I love being in the studio. I love being done up. But also, this is the coffee I had this morning. It's a great medium roast.
Yeah.
Like, do you know what I mean? Like, I've been trying a new brand of oat milk.
Yes.
It's pretty good. Wouldn't necessarily recommend, but
true.
It's available widely. So check it out.
That's
like, do you know what I mean?
Brain, hey.
Like, that's the thing. And I kind of love that it's like you can just say the most, I guess, like banal things, but that's what connects people, and that's what we all want to see. And
it's proper a whole new way of like, I guess communicating and hanging out.
Yeah,
it's like, what do you do in that time? When you're not. Yeah.
And it's up to you to share it or not.
Yeah.
And that's the thing, and it's a place for you to play, like we said earlier. And
I'm so slack, hey. Like when it comes to like sharing all the like in between things, like I'm like, would they like that? My brain is like, nah, they wouldn't like it, and it's fighting with each other. It's like, have you seen that film Inside Out?
Yeah, I love
that animated film. Great. Like, there's a whole panel in my head going, I don't know. Oh my god, like
who's the main emotion?
Just do it, Jess.
Who's the main emotion? Like, if you were to call out what?
Joy.
Yes. Yes.
Joy is it. Like, she really is. She's there.
She's the it girl. She's the it girl.
Day Joy.
Yeah, literally. Yeah. I feel like I'm like a mix. I feel like I got a fight going. I feel like I got joy, and then I also feel like maybe I got a little bit envy. But I like how it's like envy's not like a negative thing. It's like I'm like, wow, it's more curiosity, right? That's
curiosity.
Yeah, and then anxiety. But we've all got that, hey? Like everyone's got the whole panel going.
Oh, anxiety, joy, and
it all works together.
Curiosity.
That's the thing. I know, it's a melting pot, and that's why I guess it's like, it's just being human.
Yeah.
It's just
being human. Yeah.
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 To be able to share that in whatever way that you like kind of comes to you, or that you've developed, or that you want to explore. Like that's the thing, and it's so important to be able to use the tools available and just go for it and have fun. I think for sure. And that's what comes through. It comes through like literally every single reel I see of you. I'm like, Jess Mauboy's in the room. She's here in my bedroom. Like seriously.
Yeah. And and that's how I have to think too. Like, I envy to want to do that constantly, and that's when that curiosity or like the fears, like, no, they don't want to see it. and then I'm like, no, they do want to see it. Yeah, so it's like I'm in a torn world, but yeah,
I would challenge you.
Yeah,
Put it out there.
I love
See
that.
how it
Thank
goes.
you. Yeah.
You know?
Thank you. Yeah.
Worst you can do is go, oh no, I didn't actually
And
like
I love
that.
a challenge. If anyone puts a challenge to me, I'm like, that's my goal.
I'm thinking of like silly challenges I can give you, but I feel like that
Come
would be.
on, please. I'm ready.
Okay, fine. I will challenge you this.
Okay.
I challenge you to put out a 15-second cover on your Instagram stories for 5 days in a row.
For 5 days in a row.
That's what's happening.
Okay. All right. That's a challenge, and you know I love a challenge. You know, so that's.
I want to see if you can do it. And you know what? No, pressure's off. If you don't do it, you don't do it.
Right, 15 what?
15 seconds.
15 seconds.
15, maybe. We'll see. We'll see how you go.
All right.
I won't hold it to you. There's no
hold it to
prize
me.
and there's no consequence. But I'll
Hold
be
it
in your
to
DMs every day. Jess.
There's
Excuse me,
Rudy.
Jessica Hilda.
You're done again?
Where's your cover? Hello, I'm waiting.
Yes. Yes. Of what cover? And,
You know what? It's got to come from you because you know, this is a challenge enough. I don't want to add too much.
There's already. I'm getting like I'm getting a wave and a list already.
The one thing I want to see you do is I want to see you take a song in a genre that you feel is polar opposite to your style, and I want to see you mix it. I want to see it.
I just had like
hear
Alana Morissette. I just had Alana Morissette and oh my gosh, what is that song? Probably can't say this. What is that? I'm a lover, I'm a child, I'm a mother, I'm a sinner, I'm a saint. I do not feel ashamed. Oh my gosh, I forgot her name. But anyway, that is crazy.
I can't think of her name right now.
Yo.
It's gone.
I'll think about it. I'll DM.
Yeah.
On your DMs.
Yeah, it's so good. Yeah, that's my challenge to you.
Yeah,
but
okay.
aside from that, I'm going to stop pestering you and soft bullying you into things.
No, you're not. I love this. No, I'm really, I'm like this in my music. Like I'm so, particularly when I write, I'm like all over the place. And yeah, I'm always trying to challenge myself to kind of write outside of, you know, what I think or what I know I feel.
Yeah. It's a new place to play.
Yeah,
that's what I meant to say. It's a new place to
to
play. That's a tongue twister. We're ending in a very challenging space, Jess. Basically, all of that is to say thank you for coming off the handle with me.
Thank you.
If people want to find you, they can find you. Your whole Instagram handle is your name.
It's literally my name, which I had to I had to. It was originally Mushroom One. I don't know when I started out. Why
don't you hold this until the end?
I know, right? Mushroom One.
What made you think you were like the number one mushroom out there? Firstly, that's what I'm wondering. Second of all, Can you just explain that, please?
Well, I don't know.
Was it that or artichoke? Like,
I think Mushroom One came from the first time I had met my partner, like you know, when I first started dating, and he thought I was pretty goofy, like when we first, you know, pretty goofy and nerdy, and he would say like, "Stop being a mushroom," and so that's kind of where it kind of came from. That I took that away because I thought it was quite endearing. And
that's so sweet.
It was sweet.
Okay, I'm going to stop making fun of you now for that. If someone wants to find you, they can find you not at Mushroom One, but at Jessica Hilda Mauboy.
Or just Jessica Mauboy.
Jessica Mauboy, it'll come up. And if you want to check out us over on Instagram, you can find the show over at Off the Handle. But aside from that, I have been your host, Rudy Jean Rigg, and you have just flown off the handle.